Ashley's getting
I
ready. She's gotta be
mhm.
camera ready for our guest Devin today. I'm gonna say Devin Cachetto is our guest, who will be joining us shortly. Now, the show she is on, Ashley, is one of my favorites. But before we get to that, how has the Bumble BFF life been going for you?
Oh my gosh, I have so many Bumble BFF dates this week, actually. Ironically,
Do,
I
do you
do.
find you have more dates for friends than you did for men?
Oh, no.
You
No,
had
like,
more.
oh, I went out every night because I wanted free meals when I was on the app.
Is that not
Now I have to
exhausting?
pay for my meals, but I'm making friends.
Do you think Devin has a boyfriend or I don't know what I don't know if it's a woman or a man, but
I don't
do
know.
you
I'm gonna
think
go
she's in a
check.
relationship and has she done the Bumble BFF?
I doubt she's done the Bumble BFF. I'm just like I'm in a new location, want to meet people. I didn't like when I didn't do it before I had to. I wanted to like make friends. I didn't do it when I knew my surroundings. And by the way, I am actually Friday. I have a like friend date with these two twin chicks that were
Oh my
sitting at the
gosh,
table next to me and my husband. I just spit a little.
you just hit it off at a restaurant with these two twins.
Yeah, well,
It's
it was so funny. It was so funny. I was filming first of all, thank goodness I reapplied right when we started filming this because my cheekbones look fabulous for once. So happy
okay.
about that. But yes, I was like filming content for the restaurant and we used it as like we had a date night and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to film some content like of the pizza." They just opened. Um and the girls next to us like we all just started talking and I thought they actually didn't thank you for that.
I
I
just
thought
burped.
they didn't.
I'm
I
just getting to
know.
that point now in our friendship where I'm just gonna burp on
Yeah,
the
it
air.
just doesn't matter.
I really don't care.
You don't get
I really,
Do you burp in front of your wife?
yeah, I fart on her like
No,
constantly.
you don't.
100%. Are you crazy?
Stop. Oh
Like
god.
it's, I will Dutch oven her. I
Oh
will
my god, no. I feel
pull
like
the
that's the
covers
reason
up.
for my parents' divorce.
A Dutch oven? Oh my gosh. We got to ask Devin, would she get a divorce if she got Dutch oven? We need to find this out.
I feel like yeah,
Repeated Dutch
yeah.
ovens.
Yeah,
Now you've got me wondering.
she's coming in.
She's here.
She's
But
coming
real
in.
quick, her show is amazing. You jump into a pond. It's like Quantum Leap for chicks.
Okay. Wait, you know what? I think I used to watch Quantum Leap with my dad years ago.
Oh, Quantum Leap
Like
was
trying
good.
something new
Has
on
uh, I had a funny story I got to share with you today. Also, that happened to me at work. This is
oh,
amazing. But I better bring Devin in, and then we
bring
can
Devitt in.
hold on before we bring Devin in. I've got to do something. I've got to have something ready before we bring her in because you refuse to read the stand up I pitched to you.
Oh right, I haven't read it yet. I'm
So
so
I'm going to perform it for you and her. At yeah,
okay.
I want
No,
to.
this is good. This is good. I like this. I
Yeah,
like this.
okay. Let's have her in. Here she goes. Here she
Bring her
goes.
in.
Hi!
Devin, what's
Devitt's
up?
here.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh my gosh, we were having a riveting conversation about Bumble BFF,
Bumblebee FF.
marriage,
Okay.
and farting. We were talking about that before you came
I
on.
feel like
Oh
the
my god.
conversation about farting wasn't. It was like a blip in the marriage conversation.
Yes, it was a blip in the
You
marriage
guys didn't
conversation.
see me before I came into this, did you?
Would you rip a big
No.
one or something?
Yes!
That's
Wait, I'm
funny.
so
My
jealous
boyfriend
right
was
now.
helping me set up all this and he was doing something on the computer and then I was like, I'm sorry I farted. And he was like, he just looked at me. I was like, do you smell it? So anyways, I just was wondering if you
Well,
guys
You
heard
just
that or not.
answered our question. We were about to write a thesis. Like, would you get a divorce if
Oh
your
no.
partner either
she
Dutch
looks
ovened
there.
you or like farted on you?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't personally
Thank you,
because there's
Devin.
something wrong with my bowels that like I have problems.
No, God bless you.
She's
Like
lactose
that's a
intolerant. That's what that's code for, right? Yeah,
lactose.
she can't eat the ice cream because then it runs.
But of
Uh,
course, I love ice cream and cheese. So like, it's bad. The people in my life, like, they just know that like it's gonna be a rough night. You know?
Is that your boyfriend setting it up for you every day?
You know, he can. Is he sitting off? I don't know if you saw Bill Belichick's girlfriend just sit off the air, like right beside, and tell the guy, like, we're not answering that. Is that what he's gonna do? Like, we had to go. Yeah, that was funny. He can sit in on the interview if he wants. He can sit right there beside you.
Oh no,
It doesn't matter. She probably didn't think she was coming in to talk about farting in the first 2 minutes. So.
I really didn't know. I'm feeling a little hot now.
To be fair, we talk about diarrhea more often
You do.
than one should. I do, personally.
You do. Yeah.
Wow, what's your infatuation with it? Like,
Yeah,
why?
Ashley, what is it?
You know, sometimes I do believe that dreams come true, and I just want to get diarrhea
Oh,
all the time.
Devin, come on now. This is stupid. Your boyfriend's like, no way.
Like, you can digest cheese. I mean, you can't digest cheese and I can, but I want to be on your side of it where it affects me.
Oh my
Why?
gosh.
Why is my
I
only
don't
question.
know. I don't.
What?
I truly don't. It's like a trauma from my childhood. Maybe I should dig deep in therapy
You
about
should.
this.
You must.
It's just
Is
something.
it the fact that when this is gonna go too far, but when you're sitting on the toilet, it takes too long, so you wish that it all just came out together?
No, but I want to I want it to last long too. Like, I want to enjoy it. Like, I want to
Just sit on there and look at reels, man. That's what I do. I just
I
scroll.
do that all
That's
the
just
time.
scrolling.
All
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I pretend I'm going so I can just get peace and quiet. From
That's
my
fair.
cat.
Yeah. You just sit there for a while in your own little comfort space. You got a cat back there.
Yeah, she's
Wait.
asleep right now.
Yeah, when you have a kid, you definitely want to escape. Trust me.
I don't
it
have
happens.
a kid yet. But
Yeah, but
Brad,
when
have.
you do, you're gonna want to escape. You'll be like, I just gotta go take a dump right now.
Why
I don't
are we
want to be here.
talking about
Yeah,
us
let's-
when we
let's-
have
This is-
Devin
this is-
here?
So, Devin, we brought you on here because we want to talk about us and not you. We just want you to be here.
We
No.
want you to listen.
Okay.
But
I'm
Devin,
happy
you're an independent party here. I have a bone to pick with Ashley, who is an actress like you. She's
Okay.
been in a Nick Cage movie, and we talk about
Okay.
that a lot.
He talks about it a lot.
Is it the
Okay.
one that filmed in Toronto? What was it called? The one about dreams?
No, but I did see that one, and that was good. No, it wasn't that one. It came out 10 years ago, Brad, and it filmed in New Orleans.
She was a waitress.
That's pretty cool.
I
Yeah.
played his waitress and Wendell Pierce's waitress, by the way.
Yeah.
And
So I'll
both
bring
of
this
them
up.
are lovely, but this has nothing to do with today's
Okay.
episode.
Okay, Devin, I'm gonna do this before we. I write Ashley some comedy bits every now and then. She's a
Okay.
comedian, and she
Okay.
refuses to read my bits. I've asked her, "Did you read it?" She says no. You would think I'm sending her a 20-page thesis. Like, I'm sending her something that can be read in 25, 30 seconds. She refuses to read it. So I'm gonna perform it for you, Devin, and
Oh.
I want your honest feedback on
Okay,
can
wait,
I
I have a question before you read it. So
Yes.
this is something that you want Ashley to read.
Yeah, I want her to perform this on stage.
Okay.
He
I'm
wants
trying
me
to write her
bring
bits.
this to one of my stand-up shows and perform
Yes.
Okay.
jokes.
Yes. Okay, here we go. So I asked my friend Brad, be honest. Do you think I'm funny? And he goes, well, you're not fat. Okay, I'm not.
Brad,
I'm
it's
like,
so horrible.
what?
This is why I don't read your jokes.
Hold up. And then, well,
Come on, you gotta get to the end of it. We have to get to the
yeah,
punchline.
you did. Well,
You
you're not
think
fat.
that
I'm
is-
like, wow, thank you, Brad. Nothing boosts a woman's confidence like being told she's not hilarious. But hey, at least I can fit in an airplane seat. Like, what even is his logic? She's not making me laugh, but she's also making the scale cry. She's not making the scale cry. Okay, there's that.
Brad, I
Hold
think
on,
you
hold
should
on.
give this up.
Hold on. Wait. So let's call it a win. I didn't know I was auditioning for Funny or Fat. I'm going to skip to the end here. Let's be real. Brad still laughs at fart jokes and calls it funny. How does a sound out of your butt sound funny, but actual jokes doesn't? Boom. See, I think that is funny. Hold on. She's not. And then my last one is that's the last time I asked someone who uses 3-in-1 soap and shampoo and host a mediocre podcast. Boom.
I don't.
Not
think you
funny?
should get it. I
Thank you, Devin. That's such a pity clap, but I'm going to
I
go with
don't know
that.
what I've joined, but I'm here and I'm happy to be here. And I think that I understand the execution. Maybe if Ashley was saying it because she's a comedian, she could deliver it.
She refuses.
Maybe
She
it's
does
about
not
the
want me
delivery.
writing her jokes. That's the
This
problem.
is
Right.
why, Brad. This
Enough
is
about us. Let's get to
why.
Devin. Let's get to Devin. We spent 10 minutes talking about us. We
You guys are
really
so funny. I love it.
Devin. Okay, so I'm excited. I have been super excited to have you on the show because you are on one of my favorite shows. I will admit it. I will freely confess. My wife, she's a Hallmark fan, and we got hooked on this show called The Chicken Sisters. It was good. Chicken
Wow.
Sisters is good. Yeah, you're wowing it. Yeah, I liked it. It was like 8 episodes. It was good. When we were done, we binged it in like 2 days, like a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And they said, "What can we watch now?" And I said, "I'm still in the mood for another Hallmark. Let's make one more go at the Hallmark." Your show popped up. I'm like, oh,
Okay.
I'm a time travel fan. My favorite movie is Back to the Future. It's the
Yeah.
greatest movie of all time. So I was like, this is Quantum Leap for chicks. We binged your show in like 5 days. My 12-year-old son
That
even
is
liked it.
insane. That's
Oh.
insane. That's crazy. There's so much to watch. It's
Oh,
3
we-
seasons.
We would probably watch like 4 episodes a day after work. We'd just come in, okay, we got to get into this. Let's watch it. And we would just binge it. And it was really good.
Devin,
I-
how many episodes per season are there?
There's 10. So I guess that would be 30 episodes. And then I think they're 45 to an hour.
Wow,
So that's a lot.
Brad, that's
But
Maybe
honestly,
it
I
was
would
maybe
say-
it was a week. Maybe it was 7 days. It felt like
I-
2.
That's
It was
crazy. But also the other thing is that like I do understand how you could get hooked because I didn't know anything about the show and I've never done Hallmark before. And then when I booked it, I was like, oh damn, I gotta watch this. So I think it took me 2 weeks like on and off watching the first 2 seasons to be like catching up and understanding what the world was, what was going on and stuff like that. So I
Mhm.
could, and I would say that once I started watching it, I really did keep watching it. Like it is one of those shows that you can watch back to back to back because they do really keep you on cliffhangers and they do such a good job at like, it's very dramatic, but it's like you want to know what's happening next. And I think the time travel aspect will always keep people like entertained. You know what I mean? Because like you
Time
want to know where they're going to
travel
go next.
is so interesting to pretty much everyone of every age too. I mean, it's just it's one of those weird things that as kids we think about and into adulthood. I still think about it now. I always think what I would do if I could, you know.
I think for me, the reason I'm so drawn to time travel is, my mom, she died when I was almost 5. So she's been gone.
Oh.
And she was 29. So when I watched this show specifically, I was like, man, it'd be nice to jump into a pond and then come out and I could hang out with my mom as a friend and she would never know. See, that's the thing. It's a good show. It's very intricate. And, I liked your character. Your character was actually one of my favorites. That's why I wanted to have you on the show because your character, I was telling my wife when we were watching, I'm like, why in the world? And Ashley does not watch the show, so she's not going to understand this.
Well, hang on a second. I'm going to start watching it. It's just that right now my husband and I we're watching a different show. Once that
I know.
ends, we are
It takes a
going
while, but
to-
once you start binging it, you'll get into it and it'll be great to watch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't think
it's
I'll have
addicting.
any issue getting into it. From when Brad told me that we were going to be chatting with you, I could already tell I'm going to be into this show. Okay.
Yeah, it's great. But here's the thing, Devin. Here's what frustrated me. If I'm Colton, and that's the main guy in the show. He's she's living Ashley back in the
70s.
70s. Yes.
Mm.
You're way. Dale is not the actress. The character Dale, the actress, fine actress, I'm sure. Her character's such a buzzkill. I'm like, man, why in the world would he want to be with her? I can feel your pain in this show because you're like, I would do anything in the world for this guy, and he won't make eyes at me. Like, I don't understand it. And I'm like, she would be so much more fun. She was willing to go out and do things with him, yet he wants to stay home with the stiff. I don't understand it.
I
gotta
know, but I
tell
think
you that.
honestly, this happens though. You know what I mean? Especially if you have a friend that you've always had for so long. You never see them as a love interest. You just don't. And I think like when I first got the role too, like at the first episode that I was in, I very much really like I kind of fell in love with Colton as a character. And then as Delilah starts to get introduced more and he starts to get ripped away from Evelyn, I felt really sad about it. But the thing is that if you think back, he never saw Evelyn that way. You know what I mean? Like he really loved her as a friend. And then it's about as you go into a new stage of life and this new woman walks in, then there's so much more intriguing because they're from a new place and you know nothing about them. But Colton knew everything about Evelyn. So it's kind of like it's just yeah, it's that one that got away. And I think that also it's that other thing of like he thought that she'd always be around because she always was. Right. And that's also a big mistake that people make too, is that they go, this beautiful light that I have in my life has been here forever. Of course they would never leave me. But then it's up to that light to be like, wait, why am I staying around when you're not treating me right and I can find and make something better for myself, you know?
Are you also a therapist, Devin? Because I feel like you could work wonders on
Therapy
our
talk with
audience.
Devin.
Okay.
Therapy talk. No, but I honestly I would have loved to have been a therapist, but I feel like I love acting for the idea of like getting intricately through people's brains and understanding why people do certain things. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's
fun to
so
dive in.
exciting.
I feel like if the show was on HBO instead of Hallmark, Colton would be like, I think I'm going to hook up with her, and I'm still going to try to go out with Dale. I think that's because it's like it's the
For
reverse.
sure.
It's the reverse friend zone. Because usually you see the dude get friend zoned in TV. You don't see the chicks get friend zoned very often.
That's true.
Yeah, you don't.
Maybe,
But
well, on One Tree Hill, I feel like both Brooke and Peyton were like friend zoned every now and then.
I never watched One Tree Hill. I don't know that show.
Well, joke's on you. I think what I love about Hallmark specifically as a channel, the innocence of it all. I love Hallmark movies, and I know that I'm going to love your show. Where does it film, Devin? Where
It
does
films
film?
in Toronto, but a little bit outside of Toronto in Scarborough.
Okay.
So yeah, it's in Canada.
Is that where you live, or do you reside in LA, New York?
So I'm going back to LA May 1st for a little bit, but I go back and forth, but I'm born and raised in Toronto.
Got it. Okay. So
Oh,
you're a
amazing.
Toronto local hire. Is
Yeah,
that it?
yeah,
That's what it is, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Your
But no,
slate
what you
is
say about
local
Hallmark,
hire.
the local hire thing, but what you say about Hallmark is that like I know I'd say that for the longest time. I very much was like, I don't really want to submit for that kind of stuff. Like I'm a serious actress, you know what I mean? But honestly,
Mm,
there's something so beautiful about the way that they tell a story so purely. And now being a part of the show that has such a big fan base, there's so many
mhm,
people that have their life invested in this and their emotions and their love that it makes me really, really care about what the project is because you can see that it's helped so many people because the
mhm.
show itself is like extremely healing and I think it has that element of time travel that it is that thing of like oh my god like if I could go back to see my mom at my age I would have
Right.
so much empathy for her because
Mhm.
like I understand now what that feels like, you know? Or yeah,
Mhm.
if you've lost a parent and if you could be best friends with them and just like get to see them one last time. Yeah, it's honestly a very sad show. I cry every single time I watch it. Like
So you
it
do watch it not
yeah,
just for your episodes, but you
no, I watch it because I just well, obviously now I've worked with the whole cast and I love
right.
them so much. And so you want to see how everybody took on their character and how they perform, but then at the end of the day like the writers too I've become really good friends with and they write like right now they're in the middle of writing the next season, right?
Mhm.
I'm
And so we
excited.
don't know what's going to happen next and they're pretty much writing because it was like I got cast a week before and then we filmed the next season and then they found out just a little while ago and so now they're going into writing so that we can film the next season in July, right? So
Right.
they're very much putting everything together and pretty much week by week as we're filming it we're getting the new scripts and so they're always like talking about does this make sense or do you want this and it's very collaborative which is really beautiful about it and so
Oh, that's
it's now
great.
become like this really nice piece that everybody's heart is involved, which makes it that much better. Which I think any creative project is beautiful when everybody feels like they're equally understood and involved. Yeah.
Of
It,
course.
it is are you going to get to come back for season 4? Oh,
Yeah.
good. Because I was like, man, if they killed I feel like they beat the Colton storyline to. I mean, I don't know what
that's
else is.
Well, I have no idea what they're gonna do. Like, they've told me little bits of things, but I wouldn't be able to say anything.
Yeah,
But
you don't
I
have to.
am interested. But if you
You
think
can
about it,
wink.
like 1800s kind of came back twice, right? Like the 1800s was introduced in the second season, and then it came back in the third season. So I
Mhm.
think the way that the 1800s is kind of playing in the third season is how we'll be playing in the fourth season. So kind of just wrapping up things, if that makes sense.
Hmm,
Yeah, that the 1800s. By the way, I enjoy the 1800s. That's one of my favorite storylines there because it's just great. They go back to the 1800s and it's just a different time, but you're seeing the same house, which is
Okay.
and
Very
Susanna
cool.
Augustine, my second favorite, Todd Fruit. I like that character too because the first time she's introduced, it's like she wants to kill what's her name? Who's the star? What's
Cat?
Cat? Yeah, she wants to kill Cat Landry.
Yeah.
And okay, I will confess this to you, Devin. When I watch your show, my son and I, who is 12, that pond is like a drug to. So we envision
Listen,
that they're really
wait.
just snorting cocaine and
That's You're telling that to your 12-year-old? That's number one. Number two, though,
yeah, he does
this
say
is a
that.
question for both of you. If you could go back in time into a pond or whatever, but yeah, if you could jump into a pond and you could travel back in time,
Mhm.
first of all, would you? And second of all, where would you time travel to?
I would probably time travel back to 2023 and say don't podcast because it's not. I'm just kidding. I would do that.
Wait, I actually, but my question, snowballing off of that, am I traveling back as I am right now, or am I going in like what's the science
Fair.
behind it?
Okay,
Behind
I guess to follow what the story is, then you would be who you are now,
so if
traveling back.
got it. If that's the case, because it's one thing I've seen in movies where people travel back in time, but they go into their body that they were in
Oh,
that
now
moment
that
to
would be
make-
fun if I could
to
inherit
make,
my
like, a
13-year-old
different
body.
decision or something. But if I'm me as I am now, I'd probably go back to meet my grandfather before he
See,
passed
okay.
away.
Yeah. And kind of just hang out
Um,
with him and ask him stories and things like that.
Yeah.
But does he know you're you? He doesn't know you're you.
That would break all time traveling things. You can't. Does
Yeah, but
Alice expose who she is? She can't.
I guess, but I feel like the sentimental part of me would tell him like I would travel back to like maybe the day before he passed and tell him like, hey, you're going to pass away. I am your future grandchild you'll never meet.
Yeah.
Or, he's watching over me. I know that. But like I would love to pick your brain and see, maybe I would do
Yeah.
that.
But that brings me to that scene. It was one of the last scenes of the season when Alice is sitting there with old Colton.
Mhm.
That's a gut-wrenching scene. I mean,
know.
I had tears in my eyes in that. I'm not ashamed to admit to the listeners. I had to like look away because
Real men cry, Brad. Okay?
I do. I will. But
Hashtag, that should be a hashtag. Hashtag real men cry.
hashtag real men
let's
cry. I like
start
that.
it.
Are
Let's
hashtags still a thing? Do people still hashtag stuff?
Are you
I
kidding?
think so.
I mean, I
mean-
do all the time. Every
Really?
time I post.
Do you ever hashtag work advice for me? No.
Never.
She refuses. She's like, I'm not doing it. I refuse. I got a co-host with a guy in a picture with a monkey. Why would I hashtag this?
It's a brilliant photo, though.
It is a
But
brilliant
no,
photo.
that one scene was really beautiful. We got like a pre-screening with a bunch of us as the cast, and all of us cried because we just were like, it's that thing. It's like Alice gets to go back to see her grandfather, and she knows that he passes away, and she does get to expose to him that she is who she is, and throughout the whole season she hasn't been able to, and she finally tells him, and so it's
Did I-
really hard.
Did I really
did
take
you
the
write it?
storyline? I actually took the storyline for myself. Wow.
Yes, but then
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
what
I'm
made me
saying,
think that.
story is so good that it's exactly what everybody would want to do. They put it into the show, which
Yeah.
is wild. Like anything that somebody would think about, they put it in there. But yeah, that one scene, like, oh my goodness. And like Sadie did such a good job. That's the actress who plays Alice, who's the lead. And like watching that, I just was like, oh my God. Anyways, it was beautiful. It was a really beautiful scene. I cried.
When you watch it, Devin, does it bring you back? Depending on the take, can you watch it and say like, "Oh my God, I know what take that was. I had a rock in my shoe and it was pissing me off the whole time." Like, does it bring you back to that specific moment,
I ate ice
Well,
cream before that scene.
or are you so
yes, right.
invested in the
I
story?
was shooting up a storm in that scene. No,
Yeah, right.
not like I think I'm now like we filmed it in July, August, November. You know what I mean? It's been a couple months now, so I can't really see it. I think every single time I'll see it again. Like I haven't watched them for a while. When they came out, obviously I was watching as it goes along. I wonder now if I watched it, if I would have different thoughts. But I think I always see it. I don't see it as myself really. Like I see it as a project inside of itself, and I'm always watching it from like an audience member taking in what's going on. So I detach myself from it completely. So I can't really. The only way that I do remember things is like if I'm going back through my footage and I have to like post something, if I want to post something to like my Instagram story and it's like a behind the scenes photo,
Right.
and I'll remember the behind the scenes moment. But when I'm watching the show, it's through a fully different filterization. It's not
Yeah.
me anymore. So I can't remember.
You mean the music doesn't swell in the background every time a
It's got a
thought
good
comes to your
soundtrack.
mind?
I do like the soundtrack.
The
It is
soundtrack is
Hallmark does
great.
that. Hallmark does that.
yeah.
They have great soundtracks.
You are a singer also, right?
Yes.
I'm excited about a singer. I've had very few singers on here, so I'm glad that you're a singer. Tell us about your singing career.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, okay, so for me, I'm Italian, obviously Chiquetto.
Chiquetto.
But my
Chiquetto.
nonna used to sing Ave Maria and a bunch of Italian music. She immigrated here when she was 23. And so I guess I grew up around her, and then I started singing opera. So I trained in opera for a while, and I was like a little kid traveling with like these big opera companies and stuff whenever they needed children to come on. And then that moved to musical theater. And then I was really going to just do stage, to be honest, for the longest time, because I really do enjoy like using the power of my voice and performing in front of a crowd. But then COVID hit, and I was in a show that was supposed to go off Broadway, and it got rerouted, which is so sad. And then I kind of just started picking up doing more TV stuff. And I started to realize that I was like, not to be like this, but I was like, this is kind of a lot easier. Like, theater breaks your back, and it's so many hours. And it's like, if I do have to do 2 shows in a day, then I need to make sure that I don't talk to anybody, because then I'm not going to have a voice and I can't go out and have fun and stuff like that. And so I just felt like, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this right now. Anyways, moved into film and television, and then now I'm like, I'm just gonna try releasing my own singles, and that way I can still kind of perform. If I want, I could always go back to theater. It's not a big deal. But I also now I'm in a track of being like, I really do want to make my own music and start to perform in that way. So I've released 3 singles. I have a new one that's dropping May 3rd with a music video. And then after that, I did like a cute little Tiny Desk concert that I'll release like a week after, which is just like me doing a couple covers, things like that. And that's in hopes to eventually kind of work towards an EP and an album. But it's, you know what I mean? It's like taking on 2 separate careers at the same time. But I don't really care too much. I enjoy doing a lot of things. And so I don't know, it's like doing a podcast too. Like it takes off or it doesn't take off. But if you enjoy doing something, it really doesn't matter. And the right people are always going to listen and watch it. It's the same thing as The Way Home, right? Like you've got your Way Home fans and they love it because they love it. They're diehards, right? So I don't know. It's not really for anything right now for me besides the fact that I just really enjoy doing it. And this next single, it really resonates with me and I really love it a lot. I was doing pop for a bit and now I'm going more indie. Which is way more who I am. I was kind of trying to be somebody else for a little bit just because I was like, everyone loves pop and like I want to dance on stage and be cool. But like I'm not, I don't know. I'm like I'm not quite a pop girly. So yeah, that's the journey.
I'm not a
You
pop
are
fan myself.
you are so sensible and level-headed, Devin.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the entertainment industry? Because we don't see that very often.
No,
Fair.
Not that
I mean,
not that I just want to say not that people in the entertainment industry are not level-headed, but you know, you're young and you're so eloquent and I guess worldly with your words, and I'd love to know a bit more about your background because you're so intriguing.
I feel like you know what it is? It's honestly my parents are not in this world at all. No one in my family is. And it's just been like a joy that I've always had. And ever since I was little, it was just like I really loved to sing because I felt like my voice like made people like a lot of people when I sang when I was younger, they would cry. And so I like my dad would just be like, sing for people, Devin. Like people really love to hear you sing. Like sing because it helps them heal. And so that was always why I started doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, like my parents have always been my grounding. I'd say the biggest thing is like it's not like I'm mega famous. It's not like I like booked a show when I was really little and like got sucked into a world. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's the whole thing of like if you do it since a young age, then it's all you're exposed to. But I remember I could have signed with an agent in high school, and I remember looking at like all the papers I needed to sign, and I turned to my parents and I just said like I'd rather be a human. Like I just want to be a kid, and I know that I would be really good at this, but I just don't think that it's for me yet because I just want to have fun. Like I want to have
Mm-hmm.
friends and I want to just have a good time. And I just knew that like it's going to come. Everything will come when it's supposed to, if it's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to. And so there's no rush really, right? Like, you know, that's all.
So level-headed.
I
Brad, are
wish.
you witnessing this? Like,
I'm sitting here going, what, Devin? What are you like? 22? Are you like 22? What,
I'm older than that actually. I will not expose my age.
okay, but you're easily probably 20 years younger than me. And man, I wish I had that kind of sense back then.
right?
Yeah, she's like, I'm just sitting and listening to it, and I need to hear what she said because you're right. You sing because you enjoy it. You podcast because you enjoy it. Because I've been going through these phases in my mind lately, like, man, sometimes it just sucks. Like when I got a pod about something, and I'm like, ugh, I guess I'm gonna do it. And not you, Devin. I was excited about yours,
Yeah,
but
he's very excited about
yeah,
you.
I was so excited. So I need to hear what
No,
you're
but
saying because you're right. Because
that's
sometimes
so
I
interesting.
over
Like why what is it like I don't obviously you have to do certain things, but what when you are in those moments and you're like, "Oh god, I got to do this."
Yeah,
Why do you feel
it is
that way?
interesting because it's, I feel that way sometimes too, but it's never I feel that way when I have a show that I have to drive to. If it's like over an hour away, if the theater's over an hour away and I have to drive to do stand up, sometimes I'm like, "Ugh, why do I put myself through this?" But then I do it, and while I'm on stage, I have the most fun I probably could ever have. I have an incredible time. I love it, and it makes me happy, and I love making people
Stand up
laugh.
is really hard. So that's really good for you. Stand up's so hard.
yeah,
It's
I
a
can do
hard
I
it.
thing to
think
do, and I
singing
can
in front of
understand
people is hard. I think
that's true.
that.
But then that's what I think it has to be is it has to be a moment of like you have to remember why you're doing something, right?
Mhm.
And if
Mhm.
it is that hard and it makes you feel that bad, then you shouldn't do it, especially if it's something that
Exactly.
should be fun. And the reason why you did it to begin with was because it was fun. And if it's giving your
Exactly.
anxiety and it's not working, then take a break. There's like, because also, I don't know if like people would want to be around somebody that is forcing themselves to be there, right? Like you need to
Right.
be in an energy and a frequency that is like willing to receive and give, especially if you're in a field like this, because this particular field, why are you a comedian, right? Like you want to make people laugh. That's why. And
Exactly.
so, so
Exactly.
it's like, but then it's also kind of we're trying to remember that too. Like I know you get super anxious. I get so nervous too, but it's like that releasing feeling of when you get to do what you're good at because you love to do it and because you spend all your time practicing it, then that feels really, really good. So it's just about
Right.
remembering that you feel that way and taking it into everything that you do.
I
Yes,
like that.
I've seen comedians get on stage that just don't want to be there. I spoke to them beforehand. They didn't want to be there. And every comedian has an off night, but I mean they bombed when like you just don't want to be there. The audience can take that in. They're there to laugh with you. So
Yeah.
if you're up there and
Well,
you don't want to be there, it's
well,
sad.
I think even on our show, Ashley, that people can listen to us and know if we really don't want to be doing this, right? Like we do enjoy doing this. Like we
Sure.
do have
Yeah.
fun, and it is a blast. I think
Yeah, I mean, I opened up the chat and you guys were talking about farts, so I'm sure
I
that this
mean,
is
yeah,
important.
we we have a great time
we
here.
do. We
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
We have a great time, and this has been an amazing thing to do. But there's those moments where you're like, and I think this would go with you in acting and singing. in stand up, Ashley, is like when you record this and you're like, okay, we had so and so on the show and it was great. And then they never acknowledge it after. And so you're like, are they ashamed of it or was it
Oh,
not
you mean the
good?
guest?
Yeah, like we bring guests on, or when Ashley doesn't hashtag work advice. There's those things, right? And then you're just like, you know what I'm
Aw.
saying, Devin? So you get in those little mind games where you're like, well, I mean, you're either wasting your time or I'm wasting mine.
But that's inner monologue. I think first
That
of all,
is the inner monologue.
we are getting way too deep for
Yeah, this is supposed to be
For a
comedy, and
podcast?
we're
But-
getting therapied by Devin.
Sorry,
But I-
sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
No, I like it.
Devin,
No,
you're amazing. Brad, you need to work on it. No.
I'm not a therapist. I'm a dad though, so there's that.
Oh yeah, there's that. There's that. Devin, do you have any pets?
I do. Not currently at this place because I'm currently at my boyfriend's, but I've got 2
Mm.
cats.
Oh.
Yes,
a
I
fellow
love
cat lover. What are your cats' names?
Stellina, which means little star in Italian, and then
Oh.
Lebowski after the Big Lebowski.
Lebowski.
But it turned out that we thought that she was male, and she wasn't. So her name is just Lebowski, being
I dig
female.
it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Devin,
Good name.
I live in Minnesota now, and our theater shows classic movies every weekend right down the street. I can walk to it. I live right by the downtown. They showed Big Lebowski like 2
No
weeks ago.
way.
They did. And I told my son Max, I'm like, I feel super old because I saw that in the theaters when it first came out in 1998. And
That
now it's a classic.
But also
It
talk
is a-
about time travel because watching that, doesn't that make you go back to the time when you watched it when you were little?
Well,
Like that's
well, I
really it's
wasn't
like a
little,
time
but yes.
capsule.
Yeah, it
That's
does.
how I
It-
feel about Titanic. When Titanic came out, I was 6, and I
was old.
remember I remember being in class, and a friend of mine said, like, you have to watch this movie. This guy is so pretty. It's so
Leo.
good. And then my brother and I, we go watch the movie. First of all, it was not appropriate for a 6-year-old. I don't know
No,
how I was allowed
definitely
to
not.
watch. I don't know that my parents knew that there was that the
car
road
scene?
drawing scene.
Oh,
Well, the
the
car
yeah.
scene, but like the nude scene. I think back then, I mean, Brad, you were an adult then.
Yeah.
How did you communicate with the outside
Well,
world?
I was in the military at the time, and all
Oh.
my buddies were like, "Let's go see Titanic." So it was a bunch of dudes watching Titanic. So it was really weird. It was
weird.
well, yeah, because there was no girls. We didn't have girls with us. It was just weird.
Oh.
Dudes are going to see this romantic movie.
True. I guess
Yeah.
you guys are all sitting beside each other and like it's getting hot and steamy and you're
No,
like
no,
Yeah, and
Devin.
your arms
We practiced what we called the stagger rule, where you have a seat in between you, and I don't do that anymore because I don't care. I'm old, but yeah. But
Fair
you're right,
enough.
Devin. It's the same when you go to the urinals. You never go straight beside someone at the urinal. Your boyfriend would know this, Devin. It's
I've
a rule.
actually
Every
always
man knows
wondered that. No, I've always wondered that as a
Ask
chick,
him,
like,
Devin. Ask him if he pees beside someone in a urinal. I'm
He's in the
guaranteeing
other
you.
room. He's in
if-
the other room.
If there's 3, he's not doing
You
it.
know what? There's actually a TikTok trend, and he asked me to do it one time. Maybe Ashley, maybe you've seen this TikTok trend where it gives you urinals, and a guy can ask his girlfriend like click which one is the proper one, and it like
no,
quickly
wait, I
rates
haven't
you.
seen this one.
It's a filter. I don't know, but I did it
Okay.
right. I'm not gonna lie. So
Watch, it's
would-
going to pop up on my algorithm now that you
it
said
probably now it
it.
will. But do you really think that guys are gonna get beside each other while they're both peeing? And I don't think so.
Only at sporting events when there's no other urinals and you wait in line. But like if there's
but what
3, you're choosing the other one.
But hang on, what if there's 4? There's no line, but there's 4 urinals, 3 of which are taken. There's no line.
You
behind
stall it. You go to the
you
stall.
wait?
You go to the
you
stall.
Go to the stall.
Oh,
Yeah. You
you
don't
go to the
you-
stall.
Yeah, because
Okay.
sometimes urinals don't have the dividers. So then then you're just flopping it out right there. I mean, just letting them.
Is that weird? That's got to be super weird. Because
Listen.
what if wasn't there a movie that came out within the last couple of years where like the boss is peeing right next to his like subordinate?
Oh,
and
that
it's
happens a
so
lot.
uncomfortable.
That's what we call a power move, by the way. When you're a boss and
power
you're doing
move.
that, you're power moving it. That's like
That's
Devin.
true.
She's in the bathroom, and then the writer comes in, and the writer's like, "You know what? I like what you said. We're adding 3 lines," or "I don't like what you said. We're cutting 3 lines."
That's crazy. I
Would
don't
that
like
happen? Do you guys,
No.
Devin? I like to ask this too. What's the food like on set? Because I
Oh
do
my
like
god,
to
that's so
know.
funny. Honestly, what I would say is that at the beginning, I was like, this is amazing, and they like whatever they call it craft. But after you get it so much, then you're like, maybe it's not as amazing, you know.
I feel like I would get
No,
fat. I feel like I would eat a lot.
That's true. Well, hmm.
you
I mean, they always
definitely
have
have the
tips and stuff like
opportunity
that around.
to, right?
You you definitely probably could, but honestly, actually, I get really kind of like I get nervous, and when I'm nervous, I don't eat. So if I'm know I
Oh,
have to do something, like it's almost like a horse. You know when like a horse, like before it runs, it needs to let go of everything. That's like me when
I
I'm
did not
acting
know
or
that.
performing in any capacity. Like I need to let it all go.
I did not know that about horses, but I am so
but
glad that you
What?
filled me in.
you know, Devin. This brings up I stand-up comedian Jenna Kim Jones. If you don't know her, look her up. She's been on our show. She's a great comedian. She said the
Okay.
same thing, Ashley. She takes a dump before she goes on stage, releases everything.
Yeah, but
That
how can
way,
you time that?
she's not mid
It
joke
happens.
going, I got to
It
go take a dump.
happens.
So now, when we watch Devin
No.
on the way back, we're going to know before the scene aired, she had to go to the bathroom.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, but also a scene sometimes takes multiple hours to film.
Okay, but we're just going
So,
to say,
you're
I'm
gonna
going to
go
look at my son
somewhere
and go,
and
she
probably
took a
go to
dump right
sleep.
before that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair.
Now, Devin, you get nervous before certain scenes, or just in general on the way, or is it something like if you have a large monologue?
I think it's just more like how I prep. Like a car will come pick me up at like 4 a.m. in the morning, so you can get to set. That takes like about an hour, and then you have to do hair and makeup and processing, and then sometimes you'll wait in your trailer for a while until you're ready to do your stuff. And I would say that like I have to be very careful with like how much I eat and stuff like that, just because I don't know. It's just my stomach doesn't really want to eat anything
Right.
too much. Like you just don't want to feel like a brick.
Big. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
She's
you
not
wanna
crushing
feel-
tacos and then going out there and being Evelyn.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
And then
Chilling.
like obviously like lunchtime comes around and it's like, okay, like I will eat, but I'm not gonna like fork down all the food that's there because inevitably it's just gonna be uncomfortable. Like I am technically wearing a costume. It's somebody else's clothes. It's not my particular outfit. And like like I don't know. It's all there's 100 people on set that are watching, and then they're saying action, and you need to perform.
Right.
And I just feel like my body needs to be. I've just understood what it needs and what it doesn't need to do what it needs to do. You know,
And you
be,
don't
like,
want that
ready.
extra thought, right? You want to be
Yes.
focused in the scene. You don't want to be thinking like, oh, is this angle not working?
Well, it's
know?
not so much about what it looks like, really. It's just more about how I feel, right? Like I'll drink like a shit ton of water, lots of liquids. But just like food's always sat weird. Even when I had to perform theater and stuff like that, I really couldn't eat before. But then afterwards, I'm like starving.
You should
Yeah.
crush a chili. You should crush some chili right before you perform. That's the move.
No, no,
Yeah.
absolutely
That's
not.
the
How about no?
yeah. How about that's a no for me, dog. That's what she's saying right now. That's a no for me. Actually, I
Also,
didn't realize.
what happens if there's lactose? Like, what if there is milk in something?
Right,
And then
yeah.
I'm around everybody. No, I'm just joking. I never think about it too much, but that would be a little.
Well, if you got to eat on screen, you got to really take some small nibbles there because you're like.
That's true. Honestly,
Evelyn-
I was like, do you want a
there-
milkshake or do you want a Coke? And I was like, I actually really want a milkshake, and then I regretted it.
Oh,
my
I'll tell my son that
goodness.
she had a stomachache after that.
Yeah, it looks really good though. That's
Couple more things. One, I lost my train of thought. Ashley, I totally lost. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Don't name names because we don't want to name names. But is this cast like family, or are there some big timers where they're like, it's work and that's all it really is? Is it like because it seems like
No.
y'all all like each other? It really does.
It really is family. Yeah, it's
Good,
pretty
I
cool.
like that.
I think that it also like even Andy and Kyler too. Like you think Evan as well. Yeah, and anybody who's also like the big names, they really do like show up, and they show up full heart, full open. Everybody hangs out. We sometimes like go and watch movies together and stuff like that. Like if Andy's in town, she's in town for a lot of months, right? Because it shoots from July till almost end of November. So the
Wow.
people who are not from Canada, this becomes their home. So and the show is so homing too. I think that it's hard not to become attached to everybody that you're around all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of poutine. Is there poutine on the set? Is that the?
Oh my god,
Is
that's
that the-
hilarious. I am not a fan of poutine. I would
Oh,
say
okay.
maybe there is.
Isn't there cheese in poutine?
Yes.
She's
They're
not
like
eating
cheese
that.
curds.
Oh,
You know,
God.
I have had on this show Canadian magician legend Wes Barker. I don't know if you know Wes Barker.
I
You
don't
should follow
know.
him on Instagram, Devin.
I feel like I gotta
He's-
look him up. I will.
He
after
is a
Wes
stunt magician. He had his own TV show, likes the poutine, and would use magic tricks to pick chicks up back in the day. So
Well,
he's
it
married now.
worked back in the day.
Barker.
Yeah, he would just keep a deck in his glove compartment.
I actually have a really important question, Devin, I'd like to ask if you don't mind.
Uh-oh.
Growing up in Canada,
Yeah.
were you a big fan of Degrassi?
Oh, that's actually really interesting. So my ex-boyfriend was on Degrassi in like the newer generation, which is hilarious, but I never watched it. I never watched
I've never
Degrassi.
watched it.
I
I
never was a fan.
never got into the newer generation, but the
You were a Drake fan.
yeah, oh,
Oh,
God, come on.
You're not Kendrick Lamar?
Aubrey Graham. Love me. I love Drake.
You know what? I didn't watch it. I really didn't watch Degrassi. It must not just. I don't think it's huge for Canadians, but I think it was pretty big everywhere else.
It was so big. I grew up in New York, in Manhattan, and it was so big for us. I
That's
remember they
crazy.
did in like 2004 or something. They had like a contest to win a walk-on role, like just walk behind them at the Dot. That was the cool diner that like they all went to. And me and my friend, we wanted to submit, and she comes in the next day to school. She goes, "We can't. You can only be a Canada local hire anywhere in Canada." 'Cause
No,
it's
that's
abroad.
why you said you know about the Canada local hire.
Mm,
Damn.
Mm. My favorite Canadian comedy is Kim's Convenience. That's my
That
favorite.
honestly, Canadians do comedy really, really well. Kim's Convenience is really good. Have you ever seen Schitt's Creek?
Yes, love. Oh my gosh, I love.
It's very extra, but I love it. It's really funny.
But it's extra in such a grounded way. I actually, I honestly, I think that there are so many other shows that I would consider more extra than Schitt's Creek because it's obviously it's a farce, but they're so grounded in everything. Kind of like The Office, they're so grounded even in their farcical writing and performance that
Yes.
you watch everything and you're like, the science makes sense. This is great, phenomenal,
Devin, you are a Hallmark all-star in my mind.
legend.
So
Legend.
before I need to make sure that I pitch this to you before we hang up. I probably pitched this to Ashley many times and she shot me down. But this is what I want to see. I pitched this to legendary actress Christine Lakin from Step by Step. If you ever watched Step by Step as a kid, she's amazing. Okay, the name of the movie. This is for Hallmark. I need you to
Okay.
star in this for me. I'm envisioning you now in this
Okay.
movie.
Okay.
The Christmas Town Sniper.
I don't think you.
Now, Devin, here's what happens. Here's what
Okay.
happens.
Okay.
Man is a sniper. He's paid to kill a bad guy. He comes to Christmas Town. He gets up in the tower, snipes the man, kills him. Has to go back a year later because now he's got to murder someone else that's bad.
Christmas Town is
Hold on.
not doing
So
well.
they're having a Christmas celebration honoring the fallen. He meets you, Devin, because you're starting this movie now. You run the local bakery, the cupcake shop.
That's such a classic. Okay.
Yes, and
Lay it
you,
on me.
yeah, you're like, I like this man. Y'all go on meet cute dates. Y'all do fun stuff. We see this. You've got the best friend that's like, oh girl, you like him, and the friend starts.
I think we've done a little homework like this before.
No, well, no, hold on. So then
Okay.
the friend starts suspecting something's off about this guy. He seems a little different. He's kind of like Ben Affleck in The Accountant, but minus the Asperger's. So we see this love story evolving. Then he gets the orders from his boss. He's got to kill. He finds out who he's got to kill. It's his girlfriend's dad, the bake shop's dad. He's like, oh man, I can't do this. Then she finds out. The best friend uncovers the truth. He was the man who sniped her husband and murdered her husband because her husband was the one that was murdered. But she's like, you know what? He was a bad guy. I think I still want to ride this out. I love you. And then he decides at the end he's not going to murder her dad, who is a bad guy, which brings us to Christmas Town Sniper 2, which will be out eventually. But
Wow.
I think
Listen,
this would be funny. I would want to see this.
You are a true Blue Hallmark fan, and I think that you could write it. Because listen,
Ashley,
it's
you hear
weird,
that?
but if you know the code to Hallmark and you're obsessed with Hallmark, then like
I'm not obsessed,
they
but I
would pick
just
it up. They really would.
yeah,
But I would
this-
say that it reminds me of a show that was on Netflix called. Come on, Christian. What was that Netflix show with the guy who kills people on the side? I know you're so out of context that you don't even know.
Are we talking about Barry? No.
No, Barry was amazing.
That wasn't good.
No,
He was
it's not
an
you.
act-
It's just
yeah.
a movie that that I watched here. And Hitman.
Oh, that's what he does. He
He
kills people.
acted with him in.
But that's got Glenn Powell in it, right? The guy
Yeah.
from.
yeah,
Yeah.
Glenn Powell.
I've
So-
never seen that, but
It's
we
totally
almost watched it the other
Hitman.
night. But this is more of a romantic love story, Devin.
No, Hitman is a romantic love story. If this is the right one that I'm talking about, I'm gonna look it up. One
Then
second.
they
Wait,
stole
if
my idea
it's-
because
if it's romantic, then I'm gonna watch it.
Okay,
because
but
I
here's the thing.
love romance.
Devin, Christine Lakin says it's not Hallmark material. She says it's more Lifetime.
It's more
yeah,
Lifetime
that's
for
what
sure.
I was.
She said Hallmark's not going to show an assassin.
Oh wait, here. Do you
But
see
you
this?
I
know
see
what?
that. Hitman, yes. I've not watched it. I need to.
I
Watch
think
it.
like,
It's pretty much the same premise that you're talking about, but it is more Lifetime, not Hallmark, unfortunately.
Is it Christmassy though? Because mine's Christmassy.
This one's not. No.
I'll show you while we're showing
No, I'm
pictures
saying
here.
your premise is definitely more Lifetime than Hallmark. That one is Netflix,
Oh,
which
okay.
is interesting. There's a fine line.
I also really do love Lifetime. Did you know that show You that's now on Netflix that is ending originated on Lifetime? It was actually, I
No
believe, like a
way.
network show on Lifetime, as meaning not like streaming. What
Oh.
are you showing? Oh, his AI poster.
Wait, I actually am obsessed. Hey, listen, all I'm gonna
That's
say is,
amazing. That's
if you actually end up writing that, I will star in it for you. Okay?
Let's write
she
it.
she
You gotta
says
write
that, but
it.
then she's gonna ghost. She'll be like,
No,
she'll
I
block
wouldn't.
our phone numbers.
We
Ashley,
have her verbal signature right here.
this
Right,
counts,
I'll do
Devin.
it.
I'm holding you to this now. You are our star of Christmas Town Sniper.
Damn. I
You-
mean, I'm
you-
here.
You're,
As long as I get a
you're-
little bit of a 2 cents in it and it's not too crazy, then I could.
we'll
be
let you have whatever
Would never
sense
be
you
too
want.
crazy.
Yeah,
down.
well, you can have whatever sense you want.
Crazy as I enter this whole podcast with you guys talking about farts.
You're gonna fart in every scene, but
Yes,
don't
oh, there
worry,
you go.
it'll be an
Perfect.
AI fart. You don't.
No, we're gonna
actually
put it. She's gonna wear a diaper, Ashley. Let's be real. That's what's gonna happen.
You're gonna wear an adult diaper.
I mean, truthfully though, I bet she's never been on a podcast before where she talked about farting immediately. That
And,
makes it
that,
unique.
and so much too.
Yeah.
I would say
we
never.
bring it back.
You
Yeah.
guys are great. Oh, all I was gonna say is the one thing is that Jordan, who is on the show, who plays younger Colton, he's also a comedian. So acting with him was hilarious because he's really funny and he knew how to make me laugh. So that inside of itself was a whole other thing that should have been recorded, and people would have
Mm.
specifically watched what happened between the two of us. Do you know what I mean? Like all the behind the scenes.
Oh my gosh, it would have been
really, really
great
funny.
if you guys had like some like B-roll. Oh my god, I
Yeah,
bet people
right?
would love to see that.
Devin,
Because
do
it's
you
pretty
do you watch a lot of movies, Devin? Are you a movie person?
Like more like I just finished watching White Lotus. Like I like more trending stuff. I was also watching Black Mirror recently. Movies,
Oh,
only like the oldie movies, like the oldie but the goodies. You know what I mean?
No. Do you watch bad movies, Devin? Because I subject
Not if
myself
you-
to bad movies.
see, but I watch movies that I love that Brad happens to think are bad, but they're actually
bad.
phenomenal. No,
They're
Oh,
bad.
see, this is
one
very
of my
subjective.
favorite movies, The Beautician and the Beast with Fran Drescher. Ugh,
Don't know.
you must watch it. It is one of the greatest films ever to have been created.
No, you need to listen to us recap The Beautician and the Beast. See this behind me? This is our other pod, Movie Torture. There's Ashley right there. See her in cartoon form.
Yep.
We talk about Beautician and the Beast on that show. We give her way, and it's a crappy movie. Don't listen to her.
It's the
not.
greatest film in
It's not.
America.
It's not. Christmas Town Sniper, way better. I'm sorry.
I'm sure that it's amazing, honestly.
Devin,
Anything that people work on is amazing. That's all that
Thank
matters.
you.
Really.
That is
She
true.
wasn't saying that to you. She was saying that for Fran Drescher,
I
Brad.
thought you meant because I worked on the pod to bash
No,
the
she
movie.
wasn't
Okay.
saying that for your work on the pod. She was saying that about the Beautician and the Beast, you freak.
Devin, thank you. Can we get you back on sometime to talk more about your music? And
Yeah, more
I want
about
to,
you, Devin. Less
yeah,
about us.
I want to find out where you met your boyfriend. I mean, where did this happen at? Because I'm just fascinated
Yeah,
by this.
Oh my
not
goodness, I this is too much. I can't. We actually
Oh,
met on set where I was filming a commercial.
okay, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
love
better than
that.
what we've heard from other people. We're like, I met on Bumble BFF,
God
which
knows.
actually meets all our friends on Bumble BFF.
I don't
And
meet all my friends, but I have been meeting people on Bumble BFF. And let me tell you, my stand up has never been better because I have so much to talk about from my Bumble BFF.
I'll be writing
I
you
was,
some
where
new
do you
stand
live,
up.
Ashley?
I'm right now in Delray Beach in Florida.
In Florida. Do you ever do shows in LA?
All the time. That's where I started stand up.
Oh my God, Kate,
All
if
the
I'm ever
time.
in LA and you're doing a show, I'll come. I would love to come see it. That'd be
I'll
sick.
let you know. I'll send you tickets.
Are you
Yeah,
ever in
send,
Del
send.
Rey? Are you ever in Del Rey? Because you
Del
can
Rey,
stay at Delray, Florida. Because if you are, she'll let you stay at her house.
Oh,
Aw.
for sure. You're more than Brad. If Brad
Aw.
says it, Devin, you're more than welcome to stay at my
Take
house.
me in like a little stray cat, won't ya?
Scott's like, we don't need Bumble BFF anymore. We just have her go on
I know,
podcasts
just
and meet
like
people.
yeah, just like invite people into our home. Devin, where can everyone follow
Yes.
you and be up to date with everything that you're doing and see some behind the scenes photos?
Yeah, for sure. It's literally just my name on all social medias. So just like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X. Do they call it X now? What the fuck?
I think they call it X.
Twitter, whatever it is. But yeah, it's just Devin underscore Chiquetto. That's me. Just keeping it simple. My name.
Simple.
Well,
Love
Work
that.
Advice will follow you, and we will. You are now our favorite actress. You and Ashley both.
Guys. Thank
Devin's
you.
our
I
favorite.
You're
hope
the
you.
official actress of Work Advice for
Yay!
me.
But I hope you take some time and watch the way home, and that'll be really fun. Actually, it's cute.
I definitely will watch it. I promise you. Once we get through Parenthood, we're watching The Way Home. I
Aw,
Yes,
yay,
put that on
guys.
Scott's list to watch. He'll like The Way Home. It's a
And
good.
if he doesn't watch it with me, I'll watch it on my own.
No, if
I
he
rewatched
doesn't,
One
just
Tree Hill
tell
on
him.
my own 1,000 times.
Just read my jokes to him if he doesn't want to, and then he'll
I'm
wanna
never
watch it.
reading your. See, this is why your performance is why I stand by not reading your.
Hold on,
jokes.
I could. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Beautiful. So am I leaving, or are we all going?
Thank you, Devin. Thank you, Devin. We
Okay,
will be
thank
in
you,
touch.
Devin.
Please come
Thank
back
you,
on.
Devin.
Please come back on.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Thank you so
Devin.
See ya.
You're the best.
See you.
That was fun.
Brad, you are something else. That was fun though. Devin is adorable. She's so sweet. I can't wait to have her back. Maybe we'll have her back when her
Show drops.
when she had or show the next season, or maybe for her music. I really want to hear her sing. I'm gonna go on Spotify after this.
Yeah, I
I'm
want to
sure
have a
she's
sing off with
phenomenal.
her. I wish we had. I'm having to deal with her
Brad,
agent.
you're really into competition when there is no competition.
I know. I just like to do that. That's my thing.
I know you do.
Anyway, I'm glad you. Thanks for joining us. I got to go record a movie Torture now. So
Do you? Are you really recording movie Torture right now?
Yeah, they're waiting on me
For
now.
what movie? Oh, really? What movie?
Hot to Trot.
All right, we're gonna talk about what we're recording next week.
Devin's probably what, 24, 25 maybe?
I don't know. I don't want to. I don't know.
She was very
really
coy about her
don't-
age. She wasn't willing to disclose it. She looks very young though.
She looks very young. But she's incredibly smart. I think she's going to go great places. I think
She's got a real
really-
level head on her for an actress. Because I know
And
you always are like, I don't really like talking to actresses that much because they're all.
Yeah.
But she
But
doesn't come across like one.
No, she was so lovely that I feel like all of her fans that probably like come up to her on the street for a photo. I bet she's so kind to them and
I
will
bet so.
take photo. I really she just seems like such a kind humane person. It was really lovely speaking to her. It
Yeah.
really was.
Because it could have went one or two ways. She comes in on the fart conversation. She could be totally offended and think this is disgusting, but she just went with it. It was like, I just farted right
Yeah, like,
before we hit play. So
my cat's offended by that. Right? I love that she just said I think she said that probably because she thought that we
Weren't
really did
recording?
record her fart.
oh my gosh, that would have been hilarious.
Good night, everybody. Brad
Yes.
has to go record Movie Torture.
Yes.
We're gonna record one together next week. Right?
Yes. For my amazing co-host Ashley, my name is Brad. We'll see you next time. And for MTD, who's in the chat, MTD, I'll see you over at Movie Torture.
Bye, everybody.